So now we're going to switch tracks here in this interview, and we've just heard from Candace Penn with the Squaxin Island Tribe and all of the fantastic work that she is doing around climate change and sea level rise for the tribe. And right now we're here with Mason Rolph, who's with Olympia Community Solar. Mason, can you say hi, introduce yourself, and tell us about your organization?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, Danny. My name's Mason Rolph. I'm 26 years old. I identify as a clean energy advocate, and I have been working with Olympia Community Solar since the fall of 2018. We're a not-for-profit with a mission to make solar energy accessible and equitable for everyone in Washington.
Can you say more about that? What is the need that Olympia Community Solar exists to address?
Yeah, so for the people listening, I want to do a little thought exercise around traditional residential solar energy. To access like residential solar, think about, do you own your home? Does that home have a roof that's oriented south? Is that roof relatively new? Is that roof unshaded? Do you have $10,000 to $20,000 of capital in your bank account to afford a rooftop installation like that? And if all of those things are a yes, then rooftop solar is a great option for you. You should ask a local solar installer for a free site assessment. But the fact of the matter is that the vast majority of Washingtonians will have one of those factors be a no. And so they can't access the savings and the benefits that come from rooftop solar. And that's why we need systems that are community owned and shared. Community solar is when multiple people come together and all own and benefit a solar array on a single location. And our organization is working on one of those projects right now called Hummingbird at the Hands-On Children's Museum.
So Mason, what would you say the key benefits of community solar are?
Yeah, so the key benefits of community solar are it's more accessible. All those folks that can't access rooftop solar actually have a way to own clean energy and benefit from it. We can split a community solar project into what we call solar units, basically little purchasable shares of the solar project. And with Hummingbird, those solar units are only $300 a piece, which is much more accessible than the cost of a rooftop solar installation. And the other key benefit is it's not on your roof. As it's in a central location and our nonprofit is managing the system, we organize the cleaning and the maintenance, and our customers never need to worry about, going up on the roof themselves or taking care of the system. So yeah, in summary, I guess access is a key benefit, whether that's physical access of you can't put it on your house or financial access of affording the upfront cost. The second is the benefits of the hands-off approach of it.
Wait, I thought it was hands-on on the Children's Museum. Ha, ha,
ha. When you paint out the jokes like that, it makes it, less funny.
So, Mason, your first major project here is the Hummingbird project on the Hands-On Children's Museum. Can you talk about where this came from, how this project came to be?
Yeah, thanks. In late 2018, myself and a group of my friends who had been advocating for months for the ballot initiative 1631, which would have created a fee for the largest polluters in the state. When that ballot initiative failed, we really wanted and honestly needed a really tangible way to reduce pollution locally. I'm sure other people who work on climate issues can relate to feeling the modes of activism we have don't feel effective, whether it's non-binding resolutions or failed ballot initiatives. So we really needed to make a local, tangible way that anyone who wanted to participate could reduce emissions. And so we approached the city and some local solar installers, and thanks to a wonderful partnership with the Children's Museum, the seed got planted for a community solar array. Last August, we had this wonderful moment of the City of Olympia's City Council and the Children's Museum's Board of Directors and our organization coming together, and we created a rooftop lease agreement for the Children's Museum so that it could host the Hummingbird project. Then we contracted A&R Solar, a Seattle-based solar installer, to develop the system itself, and we took their proposal and divided it into 800 what we call solar units. Each solar unit represents about 1/3 of a solar panel. It costs about $300, and it represents a subscription to that 1/3 of a solar panel's energy generation for about 18 years. And over those 18 years, we'll calculate how much that solar unit has generated and send the owner a check.
Yeah, so people can invest $300 and then they get $300 back over a period of time.
And it's structured as a not-for-profit project. So once they get their $300 back without profit, we're donating the entire solar array to benefit the Children's Museum.
And there's also, some people out in the community make regular donations to other nonprofits. There's also a way for people to, say they normally donate to an organization. They could actually donate through this project to an organization that would be the beneficiary. So they would put $300 into this project and then say, I want the payment back from this to go to fill in the blank, my favorite local 501c3.
That's right. This idea kind of started with the Children's Museum because they're a nonprofit and their board of directors wanted to donate units to the museum. It kind of snowballed from there of we invited other nonprofits to join in, invite their supporters to donate units to them. And so the way it works, it's a tax-deductible donation. You just indicate when you're purchasing it on our website which nonprofit you want it to go to. And then over the course of the subscription's lifetime, we'll send that solar unit's energy value to the nonprofit. So you can provide your favorite nonprofit with long-term financial support. And so these are groups like the Thurston County Food Bank, Grub, Cielo, the Capital Land Trust, the Olympia Symphony Orchestra, Media Island International, the Hawk Foundation for African Culture and Education, and a couple more that I'm not going to remember, but we have about a dozen.
I sent mine into the Thurston Climate Action
Team. You're funding climate action with solar energy. How freaking cool is that?
I know, right? So if somebody wanted to support your project, Mason, where should they go? I'm sure you got a website up?
Our website is olysol.org. That's OLYSOL.org. People can purchase units for themselves or donate units to a nonprofit through our website. Our goal is to sell 300 more units by the end of October. That's about $90,000 worth of solar energy, and we need our community support to reach that goal. So please consider being a hummingbird and checking out our website.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? What is the inspiration of the name Hummingbird Project?
The inspiration for the name is from a story. It's a story about a little hummingbird. So it goes like this. There's a wildfire burning through the forest, and all the little woodland creatures are running away, seeking refuge, and they take shelter by a stream. And as they're sitting there, they're feeling hopeless. They're bemoaning the loss of their homes. They're watching this wildfire rage through the forest, and out of the trees come flitting a little hummingbird, and the hummingbird drops down to the water, scoops up a drop, and then flies off back into the forest to drop it on the fire. And it comes back and forth, one drop at a time. And all the other little animals are asking it, hummingbird, hummingbird, what do you think you're doing? You've got tiny wings. You can only carry one drop at a time. You're going to get burnt. This fire is far too large. You could never put it out yourself. And the hummingbird just turns to them and says, I'm doing what I can. And so our team really related to this story and felt like we wanted to, provide a chance that anybody who wants to, or honestly needs to, because they're feeling the pain of what I like to call eco grief, be a hummingbird themselves and take tangible action to, drop a single drop of water at a time on this wildfire.
Nice. The more hummingbirds, the more we get to do, right?
Yeah, and that's really, what makes it a community effort is each and every person coming in, and whether it's, one solar unit or several, each person is definitely being a hummingbird. And I'll just mention, we've signed up about 50 participants so far, 50 hummingbirds, and we've had, far more than that so far come in and donate units. Just imagine like 20 hummingbird feeders and a swarm of hummingbirds. That's kind of what I imagine around this project now.
Nice. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share before we sign off here?
Major project benefits. We've been highlighting 3 major non-financial benefits of the project. One, that over the course of the system's lifetime, we've projected that we'll save the Children's Museum more than $500,000 on their energy. And so they can revert those funds back into their awesome programs and services. We know over the course of the system's lifetime, we're going to reduce pollution by over 5 million pounds of CO2. That's 10 coal trains per year worth of CO2. And then finally, we're going to create some good paying jobs. We're requiring our solar installer to use prevailing wage. So each of the people who are going to be up on that roof installing the solar panel are going to have good jobs. We're partnering with the Children's Museum to install an educational display so that every visitor to the museum, every little kid, every family member can learn about the system, learn about the benefits of solar, and most importantly, learn about future opportunities in the industry. We want each of these kids visiting the museum to, put on a hard hat and see themselves as a potential future solar installer or, engineer or supply and distribution chain person. Okay, I'll stop there.
or a manager or whatever your title is of a community solar nonprofit. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Mason. Your work is very inspirational, and hopefully our listeners are feeling both inspired by what you do and everything that Candace also shared, and will choose to jump onto your website, olysol.org, and we'll include that link on our website as well, and pitch in and become a hummingbird with Olympia Community Solar.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to everyone who's tuned in. This has been the Olympia Standard. If you've got any thoughts, questions, ideas, topics you'd like to pitch, you can reach us at theolympiastandard@gmail.com.
We weren't fast enough to get up on TikTok, but you can still find us on Facebook and Twitter at The Oly Standard.
Emmett, we can always jump on TikTok, huh?
I think it's banned now, isn't it?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. Anyways, but you could find us on the Olympia subreddit, too. You can't keep Reddit down.
You can support us by supporting the 2 gentlemen that produce our show. Jemmy Joe does all the splicing and dicing of audio files. His best friend, Guire McGuire, did our music. And you can support them by going to olympiapoprocks.com, clicking on store. And Danny, it's kind of like pullover hoodie time. So you can go to the Olympia Pop Rock store and buy yourself a pullover hoodie.
Are they pink?
They are pink.
Okay. Well, well, thanks so much for listening, everybody. Bye.
Talk to you later.